What is going on, GW Faction? My name is Joshua Williamson. So, this is my first cooking video in my new house. I'm still not living here just yet because I still don't have my furniture here, but I am able to cook up here. And speaking of that, for this video recipe, I'm going to show you a recipe for the best fried chicken sandwich I've ever had. Very easy to make. It's time consuming, but in the end, it's worth it. This tastes amazing, so let's get started. So to start off, in this bowl, I have 1 3/4 cups of buttermilk. To that, I'm gonna add 1/4 cup of pickle juice, dill pickle juice that is. 1 tablespoon of salt, half a tablespoon of MSG, 1 tablespoon of white pepper, 1 tablespoon of dried oregano, 1 tablespoon of garlic powder, and 1 tablespoon of smoked paprika. Then I'm just gonna whisk all those together. All right, now that that's mixed together, I'm gonna drop in some boneless, skinless chicken thighs. I got about 5 I'm gonna put in. Now, if you wanna use breast, you wanna take a breast and cut it to like the shape that would fit on your bun when you make the sandwich, you can do that. I just prefer thighs. I like them because they're dark meat, they have more flavor, and they're usually more juicy and harder to overcook. But anyways, after you submerge them, make sure they're all really well coated and practically swimming in that buttermilk mixture. You wanna cover it with either foil or plastic wrap and put it in the refrigerator overnight. You can get away with at least 4 hours, but overnight will ensure that it has, the best amount of flavor. All right, so it's the next day. I'm gonna get started on my flour dredge. In this bowl, I have 2 cups of all-purpose flour. To that, I'm gonna add half a cup of potato starch, 2 tablespoons of salt, 2 teaspoons of MSG, 2 teaspoons of dried oregano, 2 teaspoons of celery salt, 1 tablespoon of garlic powder, and finally 1 teaspoon of onion powder. Then I'm just gonna whisk those together. Okay, so before we start dredging the chicken, what I like to do is I like to take some of the marinade out, and I like to put maybe 2 or 3 spoonfuls of it in the flour mixture, and I like to mix it in. And what that does is that creates these little, bits that will turn really flaky on the crust while the chicken is frying. Alright, now it's time to start dredging the chicken. I'm going to take one of the chicken thighs out. I'm going to let some of the excess buttermilk and pickle juice marinade drip off a little bit. Then I'm going to put it in the flour mixture. It makes this easier if you use one wet hand and one dry hand. Sometimes I end up not doing that later on. But it makes it a lot easier to clean your hands afterwards. What you want to do is really coat it and press it in the flour to make sure everything is covered. Give it an aggressive shake just to create more of a craggly outside. Then repeat the process with the rest of the chicken thighs you have. Now I got my deep fryer filled with oil, preheating to 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 180 degrees Celsius. Alright, the oil's preheated. I'm going to drop one of the chicken thighs in, and I'm going to let it fry until it reaches an internal temperature of 175 degrees Fahrenheit. If this was a chicken breast, you want to have the internal temperature up to 165, but because we're using a thigh, which is dark meat, it needs to cook further because, it has more connective tissue, so 175 is a good spot. After each piece of chicken is done frying, let it sit on a wire rack. I have it on this paper towel just for a second, just to dry off the outside just a little bit. And then I'm just gonna let it sit on the wire rack. Now, I'm gonna let it sit for at least 10 minutes, just so it's not fiery hot when you try to eat it. All right, and what I'm going to do with that same piece of chicken that I just fried, there's another piece right there that I just fried, but I'm going to pick it up, and you see in certain parts that it's gotten a little bit moist. I don't know if you can tell just from sight, but I can. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put it back in the oil at a slightly higher temperature, 375 degrees Fahrenheit or 190 degrees Celsius, and I'm only going to fry it for maybe a minute or 2 more, okay? What this does is that, it makes the crust a lot crispier and it fixes those moist spots that happen while the chicken's resting. Now it's time to assemble the chicken sandwich. Now, I got a toasted brioche bun that was toasted in butter. I did that off camera. And I'm going to spread a little bit of mayo on each bun. Now, this is actually the only topping I really like putting on my fried chicken sandwich, just a little bit of mayonnaise. That chicken is already very well seasoned and flavorful, so just a little mayo to complement it is all I need. Now I'm going to put that piece of fried chicken thigh on there. Just put the top bun on. Alright, our fried chicken sandwich is done. Like I said, very easy to make. It is time consuming, but in the end it's worth it. This tastes amazing. It's probably, as I said, my favorite fried chicken sandwich I've ever made to date. I gotta get a taste of this really quick. I know you guys heard that crunch, and aside from that, the seasoning blend is fantastic. The salt levels are perfect, and I think some of you may not know this, but celery salt is one of the best seasonings you could add to your fried chicken coating or brine, whichever one you choose. Like, just all the flavors that are in this are just amazing, and the MSG really enhanced the flavor of everything. Man. And also feel free to add whatever toppings you want. Like I said, I just like mayo, but if you want to add pickles or slaw or ranch or any other topping ever at all, feel free to do so. But if you try this out, leave in the comment section down below and tell me what you thought, whether you liked it or hated it. If you liked it, see you thumb up, hate, see you thumb it down, and be sure to click subscribe and become a member of the GW faction on a journey to 10,000 subscribers. God loves you. See you later. Welcome to my new home.